Okay, good afternoon YouTube and Twitch. I hope y'all are having a good weekend. Sorry this is a bit later than usual, but, well, I slept in because it's a Sunday and, well, yeah. Anyway, yesterday we just finished doing Haukke Manor, as for the story. Today, I need to go deal with the aftermath of that, but first, I'm going to go, now that I'm level 30, and get a quest I've been waiting for ever since I first got my chocobo. You'll see down here there is a quest specifically labeled My Feisty Little Chocobo. What that is that's a quest that allows you to unlock your chocobo as a combat pet. You spend Gissel greens to summon it, and for the next 30 minutes it will act as a party member and fight stuff for you. Now, it is in no way a replacement for an actual party member, but it makes a lot of things you wouldn't otherwise be able to do possible. It'll tank for it'll tank for a healer if you set it to. You can set it to be a damage dealer. You can set it to be a tank, or a healer. I normally use the healer variant because as a tank, having a healer pet makes my solo ability go way up. Definitely allows me to survive, that's for damn sure. Okay. And here we go. My feisty little chocobo. Sounds something? The unmistakable smell of chocobo clings to you. Would I be correct in assuming you have your own trusty steed? I thought so, but it's your bird battle trained. You might consider seeking the advice of Lookwell out over at Bent Branch. The Ashgardian native is something of a prodigy in all matters concerning our fine feathered friends. He should be able to help you obtain a greater affinity with your bird. Which means it's time to go to Bent Branch up north, which, if you started in Gridania, Bent Branch would be the first little quest hub you had. Now you see this Defiance, that's going to be a very important thing, because simply having that makes all of my stuff that pulls the enemies to attack me instead of other people more effective. That also means any healing that I get is going to, by definition, be more effective. So it might not have... Robert... Okay, oh my god. Robert E.O. Speedwagon. That's definitely a fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Anyway. So maybe that healer wasn't as shit as I was thinking yesterday. Maybe they were more fighting under the assumption that I had Defiance and didn't. Because every single member of that party had the job version of their abilities and were thus all above level 30 and more than likely used to the level 30 plus stuff. So maybe in fact they weren't being as crap as I was thinking they were. And I might necessarily owe someone an apology. Well, crap. That's a dose of humble pie right there. But it also increases my max hit points, which is good. Okay, and my damage dealt goes down. Now you're going to see a lot of people complain about something called stance dancing. I don't know if this is how it was or how it is now, but back in the day, all your quote-unquote MLG elite players, you know, the hardcore, were all, up their own backside saying that tanks and healers should shift out of their healer stance or their tank stance over to damage once they've gotten things going. Basically, people were expecting healers and tanks to meaningfully contribute to the damage of the party. Which we still technically do, but they wanted us to sacrifice tanking and healing to do more damage. Okay. Riding a bird is one thing, asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will help you train your chocobo, but on the promise you will never unduly expose it to danger. Very well, to begin we need a bunch of Gistle Greens. You have my leave to pick one from the fields yonder. Return here when you've got it. Now, it's my belief, having played tanks as much as I have, that a tank's primary duty is to keep the rest of the party from taking hits. Not to deal hits myself. And that a healer's primary duty is to keep the party alive. Anything other than those two things is secondary. Now, I might be talking basic stuff, but fitting your bird the greens, you can prevail upon it to fight for you, and once called, it will be up to you to direct actions as you see fit. You will find that your chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order, and it will act accordingly, and to the best of its ability. This is a simple yet effective methodology that was developed by the Four Tomps family, one of the foremost houses in Ishgard. Remember that name, it comes up later, as does Ishgard. That concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about a practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your chocobo with a bunch of Gistle Greens, and together make your way to Sorrel Haven. The brood says that probably the area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them and return here. Lastly, by way of advice, I recommend you keep an ample supply of greens on your person at all time. Our resident vendor will be able to provide you with as much as you can carry. Okay, let's go buy those greens, shall we? Feather trader. Jockey needs it. Okay. These days, okay. I don't want to race chocobos. I want to buy chocobo food. Merchant and Mender, you'll have it, I'm sure. Okay, repair gear first, because my stuff took a beating. Purchase items. We'll go ahead and purchase an entire 99 Gistle Greens. Believe me, these will be useful. While I'm here, let's clean out the old inventory. Keep you. Let me make sure I've got this. Okay. We'll sell the ethers. No, we won't sell the ethers. We'll sell the boar hide. Sort everything down. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Gistle Greens on my hot bar like this so I can summon them out when I need them. Okay, now companion commands. We're gonna keep healer stance Because again, I want to focus my Chocobo on being a healer. Something else we can check. Okay, wrong button. Mount guide. Also wrong thing. Try to see how I check my mount special stuff. Trying to remember where I find it. Party. I'm looking for logs, log. Finder no companion. Okay, I need. And your pets get XP, and when they XP, they can level up and they can get various abilities. You see, my Chocobo just got XP. Companion. We're gonna have it learn Choco Regen. My companion will now keep me alive. Now, I don't have anything to do with my beast stage yet, other than jacking it up by using my combos, and thus learning. Okay. Now, you can only keep your Chocobo out for 30 minutes as a combat pet before it runs out, or Purgasol Ring, rather. Now, when you're mounted like this, the time doesn't run down. Only when you're in combat. And yes, I'm basically walking up a giant root from a giant tree. Now this here is my beast gauge. What that is it's the new mechanic for warriors that when you, or it might be the old mechanic, I don't know, I haven't ever played a warrior. But as you do your combos and as you take damage, your beast gauge goes up. The higher it goes up, the higher your parry. I know that there's a way to spend your beast gauge, but I don't have it yet. Okay, indicate your first battles. How did you feel? Was it not supremely reassuring fighting with your feathered companion? Your Chocobo can make up for your shortcomings or build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement each other. Through some experimentation, you will find the approach that serves you best. Now we need to get back to Gridania and finally get to turning in that Haukke Manor quest. About the guy whose lady was killing people or killing Lemon because she was jealous of their faces. Now each job has a bar like this, or a mechanic set up like that. I mean, monks have the greased lightning where it shows, you know, charges of lightning as well as their other powers. Black mages have it where it shows how much fire or ice charge they have, and so on. Now, having this visual representation is new to me. We didn't have that back in the old days. I think a lot of that might tie into the later abilities you get in Stormblood and Heavensward. Again, I wouldn't know. Furthest I've been in the game was just the beginning of Heavensward content a good long while back. I don't know why I walked away from the game at the time. It might have been that I was dealing with my usual attention deficit issues. You can just ask my mother someday. It's a problem that runs in my family where, at least on my father's side, where we'll get really interested in something, you know, do it a whole lot for a short time and then get bored and go to something else. It irritates the crap out of people we care for. You're returned. What side's waiting with the honor? What has become of Lady Amandine? You must tell me all. So she went so far as to consort with devils. Would that I could have done more to prevent her fall. May she finally find peace in the beyond. I know not whether at the masked men you encountered are the same pair that led my lady astray, but it's plain they are of the same vile brood. Should the chance ever present yourself, promise me you will visit upon them tenfold the woe they have brought upon others. But who am I to speak of punishment? In my silence, I allowed I know not how many innocent women to die in unspeakable circumstances. It matters not wherefore, through misplaced loyalty, cowardice, or both, I am abettor to a gross crime. I will surrender myself to the authorities and accept whatever punishment they mean just. I only pray the gods will have mercy on my soul. And now it's time to get back to Minfilia. Which means going back to Ul'dah. One moment, I have to make sure I get something done here. Okay. And going in. A wind-up X death? Seriously? Oh, right, that's because of the Omega raid where it randomly pulls out X Death for you to fight instead of him. I wonder if that means that the Omega you fight is based on the Omega from Final Fantasy V. Omega in Final Fantasy V was a bonus boss that you didn't have to fight, that you actually kind of had to go out of your way to avoid, unlike other bonus or super bosses in Final Fantasy, because it was, you know, it was just randomly wandering around the final dungeon, though in a very narrow corridor where if you touched it, you would go into fight. And it was infinitely nastier than the final boss of 5. A game which, to my shame, I was in the 4-job Fiesta for this year and didn't beat. I mean, I got my way to XIV just tossing Gil and tossing Gil and tossing Gil, but just sort of petered out. I just couldn't do enough damage fast enough to bring XIV down. Ah, well. Okay, so that's the quest for Sunken Temple of Karn. I know where to get that now. Okay. Port to Minfilia. Here, birdie, birdie, birdie. Come on. We're gonna see if we can break the cutscene by bringing you in. No, it unsummoned you. Damn shame that. Now let's go see what Minfilia says about us. Dealing with... Welcome back. Glad I am to see you safely return. Tell me, how fared you on your sojourn to the Twelves Wood? Two of Labre's minions... They sought to measure your strength by their own admission? The devils taunt us. It is beyond doubt, then, that the Ascians have begun to move in earnest. Would that we knew to what end. Yet, I would not bemoan our plight. Thanks to your tireless efforts, we are at least aware of the encroaching darkness. Alas, we can only do so much. It is clear to me now that we Scions are too few to protect the realm against this threat unaided. We must needs alert the three nations to the presence of this elusive enemy, and recommend they heighten their vigil. There is no shortage of misery in the world that the Ascians might exploit. We have an arduous struggle ahead of us. Yet, come what may, we can't allow ourselves to become lost to hope. That is precisely what the enemy desires. We have gleaned all we can from the information available to us. Let us set the investigation aside for the present. Another matter has arisen that requires your attention. Let me know when you're ready to be briefed, and I will summon the others. Rightio. I've already got the Smeen earrings. I made the mistake of buying them, so it's money for me. Okay. Minfilia is waiting to brief you and your fellow Scions on a new development. Wrath of the... Oh. Okay.
The Maelstrom requests our assistance.
Alright, what do they need?
Concerning the kobolds they sent such copious notes on, I presume.
It seems to be a thing in this game that the starting and ending missions of every little mini arc are voiced.
Yes. And no. It has more to do with their findings, which portend a peril far greater than any beast tribe.
What sort of peril?
Could it be that Sir Galahad found Castle Anthrax again? No, that would be too perilous.
The worst kind. A tribe of kobolds in the vicinity of Limsa Lominsa has reawakened Titan.
Titan, the Lord of Crags, the primal of the earth. So yeah, we get to fight him around level 35-ish. Maybe sooner.
Our task will be to slay the primal. The Maelstrom have sworn support for the endeavor.
That don't mean much.
They are no strangers to the havoc kobolds can wreak.
Okay.
Years before the Grand Company's reformation, two primals, Leviathan and Titan, chanced to converge upon the sea wall, wreaking untold devastation. There, by the grace of the navigator, were the mercenaries Merlwyb hired able to fend them off.
Okay.
Yet it did not take long for the beast tribes to regroup, and they summoned their primals once more.
Thankfully, their second coming was decidedly short-lived, but that is beside the point.
Yeah, that's kind of a vicious cycle. Zealots get scared, so they summon their gods. We kick the shit out of their gods, they get more scared, summon them again.
So long as tormented souls will them to exist, the realm will never be rid of primals.
The Maelstrom has kept a watchful eye upon the beast tribes, and the kobolds in particular, ever since. Which brings us to the matter at hand.
Oh?
Unlike Ifrit, we know scarcely anything of Titan.
That's true.
Unfortunately, the only force known to have bested him, the modestly named Company of Heroes, disbanded 5 years since.
You could hear
and
the
mercenaries
sarcasm
are
in her
not the
voice
habit
there.
of keeping chronicles.
Expect the worst. The Maelstrom's help is of course appreciated, but even if we had their whole armada at our disposal, we could still find ourselves overmatched.
That we could.
A pity the kobolds lack the gentle sensibilities of the sylphs. A peaceful resolution would be more than welcome.
This is true?
The echo will not avail you this time, I fear. If you are to survive, your steel must needs speak for you.
Okay.
No one would think you a coward were you to decline.
I've already killed one god, so why not? Let's go for more.
So you will accept?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Alright.
We can't very well send her to Limsa Lominsa without Y'shtola. Can we, Minfilia?
I always liked Thancred.
May I ask that of you, Y'shtola?
I never thought it in question.
I hear that in Heavensward he takes a few levels of badass.
Ever reliable. Very well. We will spare no effort to win victory. You may count on the full support of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And all not afield will aid the fight from afar.
Okay.
Thancred, Ida, go to the Grand Companies. Tell them of our plight and solicit their support. Urianger, send word to the students of Baldessian, and Alfino if you would.
And again, remember, Baldessian was the last name of Kryl and Goluf from Final Fantasy V. A lot of names in this game are thrown away as a reference to other games.
Papalimo, compile all the information we have on Titan, little though it may be. You will be apprised of the tactical situation when you reach the Sailor's Ward.
Right.
Provision yourself for the journey. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Yes, yes, walk light of the crystal, etc., yada yada. And I think that might have unsummoned my Chocobo, but just as well. It'll get unsummoned when I go into Limsa Lominsa anyway. Oh no, it just put it on hold. Not too shabby, not a problem. Now, even though I don't have to, one thing you will see me do quite often is do the optional dungeons when I get of level to do them, because you're damn near guaranteed to get at least one level out of each dungeon. And that keeps me ahead of the curve. It helps keep me ahead of the Come on, think. It helps keep me ahead of the required level for the main story. Because you notice, I haven't done a single side quest which wasn't unlocking a class ability or a storyline thing yet. That's going to be up top. Easily enough gotten to. Go to the aft castle. Oh, I left my copy of the stream up. Whoopsie daisy. Didn't want to be doubling up on the bandwidth usage. Comcast tends to get upset when you do that. I made the mistake of rubbing my eye. Now it's irritated. Not a good feeling. Good to see you, Private. Science sent word you were on your way. To business then, it is as we told the antecedent. The kobolds have once again summoned Titan. A little over a month ago, we began to observe the beastmen moving south in increasing numbers from Gamoro. So they're from Gamoro? What about Osadam? Okay, our scouts subsequently confirmed the object of their aggression. Crystals, fodder for their primal. And there's Moviv herself. Thank you, High Commander. You may leave the rest to me. Your deeds bring your deeds bring glory to the Maelstrom. Private, right proud I am to call you one of our own. Forgive the lack of forewarning, High Commander. The Admiral wished to address her personally. We are no strangers to conflict. Leave the Sahagin and the kobolds plagued our people, or long have they, nor is this the first time we've had to address a primal threat. In the past, when Titan rose to the peace, it was for the company of heroes we turned. Oh, it's just so bad. I really need to stop rubbing that. It's just going to make it worse. But they are long disbanded. We must look to other brave souls blessed with the strength to face this foe. So it is we have turned now to the signs of the Seventh Dawn, confident in the belief that you are Limsa's best hope. I hope you're right, but the situation is far from simple. The kobolds are not prone to unprovoked aggression. Did not the thalassocracy make a pact with the beastmen that each would keep to their own lands and that no blood would be shed? And was it not the Laminsons who violated the agreement dissatisfied with their lot? Shall we then condemn the beastmen for defending their homes? Even a pirate must one day reap what she has sown. And of course, High Commander is all pissy. I would advise you to choose your words with greater care. That's a way of saying that you were offended that she called you out for fucking up. Stand down, High Commander. She's right. And the wrong is mine. Freely do I claim it, yet it makes little difference. Remorse will not shield us from Titan's wrath, or would you have us fall on our swords? My apologies, Admiral. The safety and security of Limin's citizenry are, of course, of paramount concern. Already we have observed disruptions in the flow of ether further inland. These effects will be felt here in the city ere long. I must ask much of you, but the need is great. Can I trust I can count on you, Private? Yep. You have my thanks along with the full support of the Maelstrom. I await good tidings. The kobolds shall summon that the kobolds should summon Titan demonstrates they are no longer amenable to negotiation. This being the case, we need to prepare for conflict. Before we meet Titan in the field, however, it would be wise to learn all we can of our foe, and I can think of no better source of information than the mercenaries who defeated him once before. The company of heroes may be no more, but several of its own members still live. It is said that one of them is employed at the Greyfleet Mills in Lower Lenosha. Quite why a mercenary should choose to be a miller, I wouldn't know. Mayhap when you find him, you could ask him for me. Meanwhile, she'll seek his fellows. A pup no longer. A new quest. Okay, this is a class quest for... Okay. Private, I was hoping your exploits lead in the talk of Limsa. Don't let this puff up your sails too much, but I've heard of some of the higher-ups saying the Maelstrom would be lost at sea without you. I suspect you're not the type to rest on your laurels, nay, the tempest raging in your eyes tells me you're looking for new waters to navigate. Fortunately, we have just the place for people like you. Have you perchance heard of the Wolves' Den? It is a proving ground of sorts established by the Eorzean Alliance, a place, okay. Grand Company PvP. Wolves' Den, yada yada. Upon your arrival, we'll speak to Storm Captain, blah blah blah. Let him know that you're coming, blah blah blah. Okay. Speak to so and such at the Wolves' Den. Now, how do I get there? Buried down by the Morby Dry Docks. Oh. I have to teleport my ass down there. Well, let's go get it done. Sooner I get this done, the sooner I can get back to doing the main story. But this is take me to the Wolves' Den, which is a PvP. You can use, a lot of people use PvP for leveling. I don't, because if I wanted to play PvP, I'd install my copy of Team Fortress 2. Gone for the Wolves' Den, you care to join us? Yes. And it gives me the... I don't know what I'm looking at here, really. This must be the PvP version of the... That's exactly what it is, okay. Let's get this done. Let's... Okay. You are a materia provision, but you're not... Okay. Stormblood. Okay. You can get PvP gear here. You can, you get special marks for competing in PvP, which I won't do. But you can trade in for PvP specific gear. But it's arena combat, basically. I think it's 4-on-4, 8-on-8, and maybe even 24-on-24 at some point. And a lot of people use this as primary leveling for their off classes. Okay, I don't recall seeing you going around here. You say that Riki sent you? She said she was sending an adventurer, not a simpering sea louse. Oh, you're calling me lice? Well, fuck you too, buddy. If I known I was you're sorry how to be dealing with, I'd have spit on your recommendation papers and tossed them in the deep. Much to my chagrin, you made it here in one piece. So listen up. They call this place the Wolves' Den, but you're no wolf. No, you're the runt of the litter. A whimpering, drooling pup who's lucky to suckle one drop from your mom's teat before your bigger siblings grabbed you by your neck and tossed you aside to starve like the wretch you are. Stand up straight, maggot. This ain't no place for the faint of heart, and I give your sorry ass until dawn before you run home with your tail between your legs crying for your mom. You're beyond help because I'm feeling so damn generous, I give it to you anyway. If you've a mind to learn something, come back and I'll beat it into you proper. And next time you show your ugly mug, I want to see fangs. Dismissed. So basically I can come back here and do combat. PvP for levels, and it looks like company seals maybe. Either way. Not my problem, not my circus, not my monkeys. Let's go back up to the aft castle. But here's what I mean. Even guys can get a little, scanty if you want them to. I consider that an even trade. If they want... I don't mind a game that has the women wearing skimpy clothing if the men get something similar. I'm very much for gender equality. And let's face it, I know some kind of guys who would be that kind of trampy, but it's not me. Some officer, apply for a promotion. Okay, with the following requirements. 3,000, okay. Doing my seals. Now I'm a... Okay, now I'm a private first class. Okay. Ask about apply for promotion, okay. To qualify for Storm Corporal, I must fulfill the following requirements. 4,000. Okay, I need to go get 4,000 seals. That's going to mean a bit of fate grinding. Lovely. Saber archetype. The fuck? Oh! That's a Fate Stay Night fan, that is. They're naming themselves after the character's Saber, or specifically Saber prototype from the original Fate Stay Night. Speak with Tractum. Now, Tractum was where again? Oh, right. I know where to meet him. I need to go back south again. Whoopsie daisy. Such an itch. It's an itch inside the nose, is what it is. But that you don't need to know that. Anyway, back to the game. We are on our way to the mill up here by the Grey Fleet, and we're about to meet one of my favorite NPCs in the game because he's so stunningly full of shit. I love this guy. Oh, wrong place. Whoopsie daisy. Let's see the fellow up here. Ooh, splat. I wonder what... Oh, that's actual stars that are that bright. Thought those might have been moons or nearby planets, like... how the planet Venus, being so close to the Earth, was often mistaken as a rather large star and was often referred to as the morning star. Yes, Lucifer. Lay down your burden, son. Come drain a pint with me. We'll have a grand old time. Find GLS or 3. You saying some adventure? Oh, you want to know about the company of heroes? Ah, hells. Price of bleeding flame or fame. Can't a mill in peace anymore. Seeing as you've come all this way, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to oblige you. Consider yourself lucky. Old Tracton was the company's best axeman. Now, what was it you wanted to know? Okay, take the silver pieces. Alright, don't need the axe. I'll just take the money here. Haha, so you want to hear the tale of how the company of heroes vested a primal, do you? Let me guess. You mean that bastard Titus? No, it's Titan, not Titus. This here is a little bit of a reference to Final Fantasy X, where the main character was called Titus. If you'd only been there to see it, it was a mighty struggle like the legends of old. Me and the boys fought him for 3 days and nights, we did. Ground trembled with every step Titus took, and when he hit you, girl, felt like a cannonball to the gut. Just like that. Alright, what's that look for? I'm a goddamn hero, I'll have you know. People around here used to sing my praises. Don't tell me you only care about learning the secret tactics we used to beat old Titus. That's how we know this guy is full of shit, because it's Titan, not Titus. Well, then too bad. I'm not feeling charitable. If you're so damn desperate, why don't you do me a favor and kill those rats that have made a nest by the windmill just south here. Do that, then we'll talk. Here's a little bit of a spoiler. He's full of crap. He is stunningly full of crap. He's basically lying to get me to do his work for him. I've been missing my last power. Oopsie daisy. I've been gimping myself. A mistake. But one that's easily rectified. And now that's done. Mount up. So you're doing. And so the beasties are dead? Nice work. Save me the hassle of, never mind. Tracto appears to be ignoring you. Okay. Oh yeah, he's ignoring me. What? You're still asking how we beat Titus? I don't know, Adventurer. It was a pretty risky strategy only a veteran of 10 score battles could rely upon. I want to teach you, I really do. But unless you prove you have what it takes to face that fat bastard, I can't in good conscience tell you a damn thing. At the very least, you need to be capable of slaying, say, Gubu. Come to think of it, that ain't a bad idea. Them creatures have a taste for the flour milled here, so you ought to have no trouble finding one in the vicinity. Of course, I ain't asking you to cut one down as quick as a skilled axeman like myself. Anyway, why don't you try heading west and stand on lookout in case one comes calling? Slay it, and I might consider you telling you more about old Titus. He's basically a lion sack of crap trying to get me to do his work for him is what this is. And that's why I like this, because this is awesome. That he pulls this con this far for this long. Hey, buddy! Guru Farmer. Now again, a Chocobo healer, even fully leveled, is nowhere near as good as an actual healing player would be. But it gets the job done. You again? Then that Gubu the harassing the Millers is dead? Didn't think you had it in you. Still took forever today to get the job done. Still not sure if I should tell you our secrets. This is where stuff gets funny. Invincible. Track team remains unconvinced of your readiness to defeat the dread primal Titus. And the game is taking itself seriously. This is awesome. So, as I was saying, I still don't know if you got what it takes to face Titus. Maybe if you slew, Track Doom, are you in here drinking again? If you are, that Gubu had better be dead. Oh, it's dead, Chief. You have my word on that. Cleave the beast's skull in two with my trusty axe I did. Is that a fact? And what will your friend here say if I ask her? She'll vouch for me. Ain't that right, friend? Tell me true, Tractum. Was it Tractum who slew that Gubu, or was it me? Chief, what are you saying? It's me, Tractum, finest axeman to ever serve in the company of heroes, the legendary mercenaries that slew the bastard Titus. Titus? Titus? Who in the hell, seven hells is Titus? Some primal you fought in a drink-sided dream? The company of heroes slew Titan, you friggin' half-wit. Well, you see, Titus was what me and the lads used to call him. This is why I like this guy. Well, that's the biggest load of Sahagin shit I've ever heard. Both of you outside will learn the truth the Laminson way. Track them. If you didn't slay that Gubu, you can consider your contract revoked. Suddenly he's wishing he had a brown pair of pants on. This is awesome. Oh, man. Okay, commence battle for Laminson way. And it's this music. Sir Large Turtle. Alright, you know the rules. First one to smash their boulder will be judged with Gubu Slayer. And don't even think about trying to kill me, that's cheating. Who picked these boulders? They're nothing like out of hell with it. What the again. Yeah, he gave himself a smaller boulder. Oh, look behind you, a three-headed Gubu. How you feeling, lads? Feeling a bit stiff by chance? Yeah. Hey, only killing's against the rules. So basically, he's cheating his ass off. You're still at it? Bugger me, it's lucky I've got one of these. 15 seconds to self-destruct. I'm not going to make it on time. The hell with this. And he's openly trying to attack me now. My arms, my damn arms. See, I'm sitting behind the boulder, so whenever he tries to hit me, he hits the boulder instead. Alright, I admit it, I lied. I lied about being in the company of heroes, but I'm begging you, Chief, please don't dismiss me. I've learned my lesson, honest I have. Save your blubbering. Tracked him. Gods, I should have known. Mercy, please, I didn't want to deceive you. It's just that I kept getting turned away by all the folk I asked for work and I panicked. See, the last job I had was at Costa del Sol, and there was this grizzled marauder everyone treated like royalty. When I heard he was the captain of the company of heroes, I finally understood why. I wasn't being serious when I said I was one of them, but you went and believed me, so I, Look, his name was Weisskate, alright? Weisskate. He'll tell you how to defeat Titus or whatever the hell's the thing's name is. That's what you wanted, ain't it? So come on then, tell the chief to forgive me, it's only fair. And that's what he says, like, That's why I like this dude. And we haven't seen the end of him yet either. That's the best part. We see a lot more of that fellow later on. See what time it's been. It's been about an hour. Okay. About halfway through my usual stream time. Good to know. Oh, we've got... Oh, right. We've got a fate right down here that we're going to do. Because I'm going to need 4,000 seals to do my next rank. Which means that sooner or later I'm going to be doing a lot of grinding on seals. This ought to be easy enough. I'm probably going to end up getting another level for my chocobo while I'm at it. Now the levels for the chocobo don't give them anything because their HP and combat ability is tied to your own. As in, even the gear that you equip affects them. Button because I wasn't looking right. Seriously, killing all these crabs has me having the greatest craving for crab cakes. Strega, Optima, yep, they're a spellcaster. But if I remember, Strega was, I think, Romanian for witch. I could be wrong there. But I have help now, so this fate's going to go a little bit faster. Now, I'm probably going to do more fate grinding off camera because I know this gets really boring. And like, if I ever get to do Dark Souls, you'll probably see me do a bit of leveling off camera because, again, boring. I don't really know quite yet. All depends on how things go. Challenge complete, faded to water. I got bonus XP from it and bonus gold. That's why you want to do the challenges is the bennies, really. Okay. Now I also got money from it. Money is good. Money is very good. Logs, challenge log. Haukke. And you can see they're using, she's using a healer chocobo as well. Smart. Careless Whiskers. Reference to the old George Michael's song Careless Whisper. More commonly known on the internet as that sleazy saxophone music you hear anytime somebody's doing a review of something sleazy. Pardon, you wish to slay the Lord of Crags? We must slay him, Captain. The people of Minfilia are depending on us. If you fancy yourself heroes then, just like in the tales, be not so quick to judge. Long have I labored for the well-being of you and yours, and my associate is bathed in Nifrit's hellfire and lived. She is blessed with a power that protects her from primal influence, thus was she able to lay low the Lord of the Inferno. We knew full well the risk and have taken every possible precaution. We lack only the knowledge of how to enter Titan's lair. Pray be go so good as to grant us the boon of your wisdom, and we shall be on our way. A woman who can't be tempered. Useful, but it won't be enough. It was true the company of heroes fought and felled primals, but each victory was fought with the lifeblood of brave men and women. And Titan was the worst we faced. Aye, we defeated him in the end, but he took from us some of our very best. Even if you possess the power you claim, I have no reason to believe you will succeed. Believe what you will, we mean to try. Though our lives be forfeit, we will not abandon Limsa to the wrath of Titan. You are passionate, I'll grant you that. And you deserve better than the greeting I gave you, but I will not send you to Ogamoro on a whim. To be plain, I do not wish to see you give your lives in vain. At the very least, I must have assurances you are more than common adventurers. I oversee security for Master Gegaruju's estates. Perhaps if you can demonstrate your abilities by attending one of our... Ye gods, man, if you're nothing I have said, we have not the time to perform trivial tasks. The enemy is at the gates. Do you imagine words can sway me, girl? If you dislike my conditions, then you're welcome to find your own way into Ogamoro. Sigh, though it pains me to admit it, we have no choice but to acquiesce to the man's demands. Yet much remains to be done if we're to best Titan. Forgive me, but I must ask you to undertake this task alone. I will use the time to see to the remaining preparations. Leaving the dirty work to the others, are we? Ah, very, very well. Pray do whatever the good captain bids, however trifling. Remember, the fate of Limsa hangs in the balance. Wiskate would be the first to would first like to verify you are not a complete fraud. Master Gegaruju's request can be more demanding than you realize. Before I set you to your true task, I would like to verify this won't be a waste of my time. Nyx has recently been prowling the beach to the east. As you can imagine, my master does not want slimy creatures anywhere near his lands. The beast is cunning. You should have no difficulty luring it out with the herring. Slay the Nyx and return to me, and don't forget to bring me a leg as proof of the kill. Now, while I'm around here doing stuff, I'm going to end up doing a lot of the fates just to pad my seals out a bit. Go any further? Let me see if you hit your level yet. Close, but no cigar. Come on. Oh, I gotta wait. Alright. Waiting, 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 waiting. Ripples in the water catch your eye. Up. One of the reasons that a chocobo is not as good as a living, breathing player on your back, they will stand in the fire, or they will stand in the radius of death. Let's go get the big fella his thing. Let's see here. You deal with the Nyx. Yeah, here's a leg of Nyx. Lest you think me overly cautious for testing you this way, you should know that we had an incident not long ago. A foolish young employee was dismissed about lying about his past. He claimed to have served the company of heroes, but I knew for a fact he didn't. Anyway, now the pointless busy work is finished, I shall give you a challenge as befits your talents. Now what do you have for me? Okay, important mission. 2 highly distinguished individuals are coming to visit Casa del Sol in the near future, and Master Gegaruju wishes to welcome them with an elaborate banquet. While money is no object, not everything Master Gegaruju desires can be so easily purchased. It is to be an extremely exotic feast, and so your mission is to seek out and obtain the rare ingredients our chef requires. It will be a long and arduous journey, mind you, but you need not toil alone. Many of the mercenaries who once served under my command still live, and they will guide you in your quest. For the first ingredient, I would have you travel to the South Shroud and speak with Land and Elle at Camp Tranquil. What? Do you mean to tell me you can't afford to waste our time as our associate did? Adventurer, if you hadn't the endurance to complete the mission, or if you don't have the endurance to complete this mission, how do you expect me to believe you can outlast Lord of Crags? Either you do it or don't. I have work to do. Oh, just a matter of rut. Okay, it's an animal sex joke. Yay. Well, mating season. Is it only that the running ones are the ones we need to kill, but these budding ones are not? is also, again, good experience for my Chocobo, and I want to get it a little bit of leveling because it only has regen right now. It doesn't have cure. Pulling them out of the range where I can do anything, damn it! One thing you'll see a lot in these is how to say, selfish behavior. People trying to ensure that they and only they get kill credit. Because you're graded on a fate by by what level of completion you've done. By what level of contribution you made to the... So people will, in the large scale fates, will do everything they can to ensure that they've done as much credit as they can at the expense of others to ensure they get that gold medal. Like, see, she pulled that one away from me. And there we go. Now they want me to go to Camp Tranquil, which is where I learned Feisty Little Chocobo in the first place. Okay, but I got more storm seals for the deal. I'm going to be up in... Okay. Before I go, I want to check a couple of things. Just to do some extra padding, I am going to go ahead and get my Tier 2 fates, or my Tier 2 hunting log done for Warrior. Because why not? Fireflies and muscle Goobus. Okay, so God, Script, and Warby Base. So find Goobus, kill Goobus. That shouldn't be that hard because they're wandering around here and there. And here's the Goobu now. Hello there. Need 2 more of you. And that'll be a mark done. And there's one right now. And another one right over there. So we're going to have this one in the bag. Oh, I gotta get 2. Or 4 of them, not 3. Okay, well, anyway. Here's number 3. Whatever reason, we should find more of them further south, which is where we're going anyway. And here's our 4th. And there's 3,200 free XP for it. Yeah, the quests aren't going to feel like they're giving very much now because, or the marks, because I'm doing the level 10 and 12 stuff when I'm level 30 now. Sorry, just making a dirty joke to the other people who are making dirty jokes. Because that's what people do. Now to find fireflies. Just jackals. Not looking for jackals, looking for fireflies. Where the crap? Oh, right. They're down there by the lake. After I kill them, I gotta kill dodos, which are in Quarterstone. Look at the Morby moles while we're here, too. That's where I'm used to seeing fireflies. There are no fireflies here. There are jackals. Here are the Morby moles. Let's go ahead and get them. Remember, all this is basically just to get a little bit of extra padding, so I don't outrun my quests. Fireflies need to take turns. I can get here too. Okay, Rotano. Okay. Lenosha, Western Lenosha, Western Lenosha, Upper Lenosha. Just find the fireflies and we're basic. Okay, if I can find the fireflies, I'm good. Where the crap are the fireflies? Are they all going to be bunched up by the Godstone over here? Not up here. Crabs up there. Fireflies down here in by the God Rock, like I said. Okay, that's done. Now let's go get our engineers, which were return. Okay, they're going to be here. That'll be easy enough. Now let's check my Chocobo really quick. And choose level will get you enhanced mind, which means more HP for you. I like it when people are helpful like that. It's always good to be nice to people rather than being a prick. You know, as the old saying goes, you get more flies with honey than vinegar. Or as my father used to say, rest his soul, no matter where you go, there's no shortage of assholes, don't be one of them. Alright, that's handled. Now it's time to go off to the west. Oh, I have no doubt I'm going to do the same crap when I get back up to the Shroud, which is where I'm going after I finish out my marks here, because I've got something I need to get there for my Grand Company hunting log. I've got some Ixo up in Kurthus. They're about level 30 something, so I can go do it now if I wanted to. Unlike other games coming out, this game doesn't story lock you to certain main areas, only except by expansion. Yeah, I'm not able to get into Stormblood areas until I finished Heavensward. I'm not able to get into Heavensward areas until I finished Stormblood. Or, sorry, until I finished the main quest for everything here. Coming to Western Lanasha. Okay, we'll take the perch and we'll use one of the freebies. Not using them all that much, so might as well make use of them. But this really is what the hunter's logs are for. Okay, dodos and buccaneers. Let's first find the dodos. I'm assuming the buccaneers are probably hiding out under their bucking tents. But you'll notice I'm getting animal hides, tenderloin, eggs. That's all stuff I can use as a cook, as a culinarian. Well, the hides I can use for leatherworking crafting. I am not a leather worker. I really could end up being one. But rather than going out and mining, you gotta go and kill shit for your stuff there. There's my dodos. Let's see if I can find the buccaneers. And here's my buccaneers. Let's actually go down and get this while I'm here. Oh, you know what? You're gonna be acting goofy on me. Okay. We got a bunch of them. Let's see if I can find a nest. Nope. Nests are right. There's one right there. Shit. Let my health regen a bit. A lot more killing in this one. And a nest out by itself. Okay. Or is there another nest? I don't see any nests. There, we got it done. And now we have, okay. First, I'm going to do extra trades because I like doing trades. Dual cast? Yep, that's the red mage. They look like they're prepped for a fate, too. Or for a duty, rather. Okay, now to go get my Buccaneers. That was satisfying. And I got a pittance for doing so, but I got Well, you notice I wasn't using my full combo there, and I didn't have all my ability. Oh, shit. Crap. Put my Defiance back up. I'm an idiot. Forgot to use my primary ability. That's handled. Now we need for 7 I need bats, hatchlings, and hedge moles. So that's Skull Valley, which means northward ho. And there goes my itchy nose again. Ugh, Jesus. There's our puck hatchlings. I can get these while we're here. One other reason I'm doing this is there's also an achievement for, or a challenge rather, weekly for getting a certain number of kills with your chocobo. Spaceballs reference, crab named Dark Helmet. Now we need to find, got the pucks we needed, now we need dusk bats and hedge moles. And here's our bats. Nope. And one more. Well, while we're here, let's go ahead and get the hedge moles since they're just right here. That's awful convenient. Okay, and now you, and we've got the 17 mark done. Oh, I'm needing 3 dusk bats? Okay. 4, 3, 2. That's an unusual demarcation. We'll deal with it. Let's find another one. Here, batty, 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 batty. Here, batty. And of course, it would have to link the first. Okay. I just knew that back one was going to link. It was going to add. Oh well. And here we have the same axe-speak creatures from before. Only this time they're differently colored, and they're not quite as lizardy. They seem more feathered than lizard here. But then again, we have proof that the Velociraptor made famous in Jurassic Park actually was a bit of a missing link between dinosaurs and birds. And that in fact had feathers and probably used them for balancing on top of prey while eating them alive. Not sure what Brothlet means unless that's the name of the area that we're in. Now we need pillar mattresses, which are also in Skull Valley. And here we have our mattresses. Well, one of our mattresses. This looks like a shadow from Babylon 5. Where's Ambassador Kosh when we need him? That can't possibly be the only one. Fight these ones, they're not normally aggressive, it's just that they're treating what I'm doing as, well, I don't know. I'm killing things that aren't so below my level that the local enemies are deciding, hey, let's band together. It's almost as if they're treating me like I'm a bully. Not entirely wrong, at least in this case. Now we're just missing the Wild Wolf, which is up in Oakwood. Oakwood. Oh, Upper Lanasha. Oh, I know where to get this. Right up here. So we have that. I can go ahead and get back to... the Shroud. Of course, while I'm in the Shroud, or up near Gridania, I am going to take a large detour and finish off the Tier 1 Company Hunter's Log, because why not? Not sure where Flame Lord came from. I felt obligated to help since I saw somebody soloing this. Figured they could use it. Ah, they're higher level than I am. What the hell? Okay. Let's go finish off the hunting log, and then we can get back to what we were actually trying to do today. You see, a lot of playing an MMO isn't just doing the story; it's busy work like this. You know, gathering the materials you need to make something. Getting the supplies together before you do a dungeon run. Getting the levels to... Oh, there's no way I can handle that. Not in 5 minutes. Right. Okay, that is handled. And there we are now damn close to making level 32. Let me check my time. Okay. Well, not really, no. I don't need to do that. I'm sorry I didn't respond sooner. But the way that works is that anytime if the timer runs out, I just eat up another Gissel Green and I got it for another 30 minutes. That's why I bought 99 of the things. So I don't have to worry about it. Ethernet. Okay, set home point. Broadening horizons. Oh, the White Wolf Gate unlock. Okay. Is it not following your exploits? Okay, it's Limsa so well. Lofty expansion grant you passage beyond the White Wolf Gate. Take this pass and show it to Weird French Name. Well, let's go see Mr. Weird French Name. Beam Bandit? The fuck? Papers will assume now everything appears to be in order. Go in safety in the future. If you wish to pass the seat, need to say the word. Okay, now I can go through that door anytime I want to. Of course, from this side of the door, I have to speak to him. That'll be convenient later. I think I just got beeped at. One moment. Check the time. Okay, I've got basically enough time to do the thing. To go get the 3. Okay. If memory serves, to get Corporal, which I'm going to be getting next, my first requirement is having my Tier 1 Hunter's Log filled out. Or my Rank 1 Hunter's Log for the Maelstrom filled out. I only need to kill one XIV Wild Talon. Where am I going? And it looks like nobody's doing... Oh, of course nobody's doing Fates here, because this isn't Kurthus. For the 3 of Realm Reborn, Kurthus was the place to go, if not Mordona. But you see the cost of level ups goes up and up and up. Level 1 was 300 XP. I get that with 1 kill sometimes now. Now why it says Kurthus Central Highlands... Okay. It used to be that Kurthus is much larger than it is now. There used to be a Kurthus Central, Northern, or like Central, Eastern, and Western Highlands and Lowlands. I think Midlands as well. Either way, back in 1.0, this part of the continent used to be far larger than it is now. Just like the Black Shroud used to be far larger, and Phandelin and Lenosha also were much larger. The reason things are smaller now is because, for one, back in the day, things were a lot more cut and paste on the map. They've done away with so much of that now. Purposefully. Sorry, speaking to a friend I haven't spoken to in a while. And here's our one wind talent. You notice the combat music is a little bit different in this area. That tends to go true for Heaven's Ward content and Stormblood content as well, from what I hear. It is region specific. And there are shields. We've got that done. Wrapped and in the bag. So now we can just teleport back. Ninny. Okay, and there is a fan of the Wheel of Time novels. The ones that never... If you're gonna rip off a name, at least not do one that's exactly from a Final Fantasy. At least you picked one from the shitty Final Fantasy. Yes, I went there. I didn't like... Oh, I liked Final Fantasy VIII when I first played it. Then I played other Final Fantasies and realized why people weren't as big of fans. It had, you know, it did a couple of interesting things, to be sure. And I liked some of the characters, but a lot of the plot was really felt like they were pulling it right out of their asses. And a lot of the gameplay mechanics were mind-bogglingly irritating. Like the hoops you had to go through to get the parts to make the Lionheart sword. The hoops you had to go through to get any number of different things. The draw system, because magic, you really rarely ever cast magic as a spell in Final Fantasy VIII, because you were shooting yourself in the foot if you did. Magic primarily was used to junction to your stats to make yourself more combat effective. So by casting magic, you were essentially making yourself weaker in Final Fantasy VIII. That said, they also turned the whole concept of leveling on your ear. Grinding in that game was a bad thing, but you had to. Because as you leveled, so did the enemies. They got new attacks, they got more powerful. And eventually some bosses got to the point where if you did too much grinding, they were damn near unbeatable. Yet you had to grind and sit on enemies for hours to draw the magic you needed, or else you were screwed. And when I say hours, I'm literally meaning hours in one fight You know, taking all the enemies down but one, and then just using draw and drawing 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 magic from it. If that sounds boring, oh, believe me, you bet your ass it was. Now, does that mean I regret playing it? No. I liked a lot of the concept. I liked that there was a Final Fantasy in more or less modern times. I like the way limit breaks worked. Outside of the draw system, combat could be fun, except, again, using or spending too much time in combat was a bad thing, except that you had to. Your assistance. Oh, this is the one who would challenge Titan. I've been expecting you. The ingredient you seek is the egg of a giant adamantoise. The method of acquisition should be obvious. You steal it from the beast's nest, of course. Simple in theory, but difficult in execution. Most who try die in the attempt. Why would I help you get it? You amuse me. I will not jeopardize my position by openly assisting you. For me, you will receive only information. What do you do with it is your choice. Okay. He needs to... Okay, the Penitent Man. Oh, they're making... The Penitent Man shall... Or only the Penitent Man shall pass. That's a reference to Indiana Jones and his last crusade. Okay. Let me be clear. This business between you and me and the captain must remain a secret. See, I don't regret my time with the company of heroes in the slightest. Traveling the world, meeting interesting people, and killing them, it was all jolly good fun. Alas, Gridanians are by and large an unforgiving lot, Dato here being a rare exception. I had to go to great lengths to ensure that I am seen as a model citizen with no taste for drinking, whoring, gambling, and all those other activities that I so dearly miss. So understand, if you ruin my little charade by wagging your tongue, I'll fashion a noose with your entrails and hang you from the nearest pillar. So, now then, where were we? Ah, yes, the egg. First thing you must do is deal with the sentries patrolling the Adamantoise breeding grounds. Poaching is illegal in Gridania unless you were unaware. A shame we have so few whalers this fair, especially with the brownie brush is almost in season. Matron for fend if the agaric flies claim the crop before we receive additional sentries. We will soon need barrels of sting brew to weaken and ward off the pests. But if any vilekin were found near the shrooms before we can take preventative measures, we'd be forced to shift our patrols immediately. You will, of course, notify me if you encounter any agaric flies in the vicinity of the lower pass, right? Wink, wink. Check my time. Okay, this is going to have to be the last thing I do, because it is getting on in 2 hours. Sting brew, okay. Jostler present. You notice this is a dungeon, this is a boss level enemy. So yeah, I brought my chocobo. Probably even going to be needing to use my potions here. of course I'm gonna do that fate when I'm done here. Oh no, or maybe not. Oh crap, nope. It's one that's almost done for the day. One killed off and get back to speed. Mind you, this one jumped me. And now bring that brownie brush back to the person. Landonell. Okay. And here you are. Where this year's crop of brownie brushes comes late. Oh my, is this a brownie brush and you say you slay a whole swarm of flies? Matron's teats, we cannot wait for reinforcements, we must do something. Wink, wink. Okay, urgent need of an adventure, okay. Our infestation requires our full attention. Thank you for bringing it to my attention, adventurer. If I may impose on your kindness further, I ask you to inform my subordinates of the Star development. I have 3 whalers currently standing guard in Roots Lake. Inform each man that they are to proceed to the lower paths and search for guard fly swarms until further notice. Okay. I already started the quest. I might as well get it done. But once I do, I'm going to call it. We're going to start tomorrow with me starting the quest for unlocking the Sunken Temple of Karn, one of my favorite dungeons. Okay, this is basically just telling them where they were told to go. Yay, more Marlboros. Or more bowls, rather. Yeah, and they look just like Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. Tuna fish, what the hell was this guy's name? Tuna fish Stan. Is it Chocobo? Tuna fish. Okay. They named himself after a tuna sandwich, alright. Message from the captain. Damn, those Vilken are a danger to the travelers on the road. I will depart immediately. Now let's go see what Landonell wants. Okay. We know what he wants. So we go turn him in. And we'll be done for the day. I forgot to get the Choco Keep. That's done. I've got this spot in the network. I'll overuse it. Thank you for informing my men. Excellent work. However, I can't keep the roosters distracted for too long. If you wish to pillage the henhouse, you must do so now. And we'll be doing precisely that tomorrow. Alright guys, thank you all for watching. Like, follow, and subscribe if you enjoyed the show. This has been Harmony Muse. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.